I'm tired. I forgot to put the damn audio in.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So are we still live?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well,
Hold
I
on.
guess
There it is.
I got to play the music again? Like, oh, shoot. Wait. Here we go. And welcome in to the Sportsocracy.
There it is.
There it is. Coming to you live from Indianapolis, Indiana. We are not at the Combine per se right now.
I mean, we are.
We are.
We just left the convention center.
We have been
talking.
there all day long.
My feet hurt. Something aggressive.
Yeah, my wife made me wear the step counter watch. We were at 13,658 steps today. I believe the largest building on planet Earth may very well be the Indianapolis Convention Center.
Yeah.
It's the most confusing building I've ever been in.
Oh, it's really not that confusing.
Oh,
you walk in the front door, and we're on the left, unless we're eating or doing other things, and then we're on the entire opposite side of the building.
Yep.
You turn that godforsaken music off.
Hallways upon hallways, and just a lot of media people running into each other. The fat media people just meeting up on stairwells, going, "Good God, what are we doing here? Why are we still doing this?" So ran into one poor guy this morning that he looked like he had just gotten out of the shower. The problem was that he had just entered the building and walked up 2 flights of stairs and immediately drenched in sweat and was having a hard time. He's like, "Where is this place?" "Well, it's right around the corner." We got around the corner and it wasn't there, and I was like, No. Next corner. Just keep going. You'll be there. You'll
just keep hitting corners until you see a bunch of people walking in around.
It has been a phenomenal experience already. If you have a favorite NFL team, which if you're listening to this, obviously you do.
Then we've probably seen either your head coach or your GM today.
Yes. Close quarters with all the movers and shakers of the NFL. It has been a really cool experience. Went and got all of not all of the audio because we had all of the coaches up on podiums today. I got as many sound bites as I could from all of the coaches. We'll have full coverage of that tomorrow for you on the
live
ESPN
from Radio Row.
Show. Live from from Radio Row, and we'll have all of the recap of that. I will start tomorrow's program off solo, so Jeremy can go play with Joe Douglas.
Well, I did ask Andy Reid if we could go share some nuggies. I did get to have that conversation today, which was pretty sweet. You know what I've learned about NFL people? If you just walk up and say, "Good to see you again," you can wind up into some really cool conversations with people that do not have a damn clue who you are.
Yes, you can.
That's what I did to Andy Reid. He was doing an interview with the show 2 spots up from us. Mm-hmm. And so I just walked up to him and said, "Hey, Coach, good to see you again." Next thing I know, we're just talking about stuff. And he is looking at me like, who the hell is this Bobby Boucher, Pat McAfee love child, wannabe reject that has decided to talk to me?
Well, see, that is the great thing about Andy Reid. He's too nice to tell you to go get fetched.
Well, I fully believe that Andy Reid looked at me, and the only reason he talked to me that long is because he thought I knew where all the good Waffle Houses were.
No doubt. Did you just break the couch?
I didn't break the couch. It might not have been in position, and I positioned it.
It is now. It is now. So, if you got a question about your team, what they were talking about today, throw those out into the YouTube comments here, and we will get to them. I see Patrick Holt in the comments. And, look, Dave Canales is a very special guy, and I mean that in the nicest way possible. I don't mean that in like he's the most impressive guy I saw all day. He's just, I don't know. There's just something about him that.
Did you notice that he held eye contact with every person that asked a question?
Absolutely. And it's as someone who was standing right there and got that eye lock treatment from him. There's just certain people in this business that can connect.
Wait, did you ask him one of those questions? I was in the back taking pictures.
I don't know that I did ask him a question. most of the time I'll get a good follow-up question to somebody's question, and then somebody will shout me down, and then I'll be like, all right, well, I'm not going to disrupt the flow and go back to that subject. So there were a couple of times in that interview where I tried to speak up and then got drowned out and just went, fuck it, I'm not messing with the flow of the interview.
Yeah, basically my scenario is the same at all of these. I'm standing in the back taking pictures and possibly making jokes with some of your favorite broadcasters from around the world, right. Some of whom will be on our radio program tomorrow.
We will bring you the best of coverage from here from Indianapolis.
Hold on, before
Canales.
before we go any further, I feel like we got to say something because I do want to go on about Dave Canales for a while. We have to give the big shout out to Ingles.
No doubt.
Low prices, love the savings. They're the reason we're here. And in one night, I can say the Senior Bowl was cool for me in one specific way that I got to do it. I got to go with my dad. Mm-hmm. It was the first time I'd ever been to anything like this. I will say this is even cooler than that because you'd have to understand where we're sitting right now. So procrastination paid off again. Jeremy decided to not book our accommodations until we were on the way here. So we booked an Airbnb that is above a bar that is above a nightclub.
Who's shocked?
So, 100%. And I didn't do that on purpose. And I did not know that.
And you see the bright light coming through on this side of Jeremy. That is a big picture window in our Airbnb.
Oh, I can show that.
And just beyond.
I can show that.
Okay, show it.
Here,
just beyond the next building is the rooftop of the field house where the Pacers play. Oh, and I just stepped on your microphone. Oh, and now you disconnected the camera. There you go. Yeah, anyway, right outside this window is the field house. I keep forgetting the name of the first name of it, where the Pacers play. On the next block is where Lucas Oil Stadium is. And then on the other block is the convention center, where we're doing all of the interviews and all of the things. And there's a lag there, so I don't know if we're actually on the screen right now or not.
That's why you have to click the other button.
Oh, there it is. Hey, there it is. Look at that. It's really cool. And this downtown is super walkable.
I could live here.
There is stuff everywhere. There's probably 17 bars within a Jeremy Greene golf shot of where we're sitting right now.
There might be more than that. St. Elmo's Steakhouse is within a good 7 iron from where we're sitting right now.
Yes. All of the things are around us. It is very cool. I'm very impressed with Indianapolis so far. We have not yet seen much of the city, although we did find out yesterday that I'm not bad at beer pong.
Who's shocked that it took less than 4 hours on a road trip with Jeremy for Tank to find out I don't suck at beer pong?
Yeah, no.
I don't either, just for future reference.
No, it was quite fun last night. And
apparently
there's
now
a beer
we're in
pong tournament tonight.
I was about to say apparently now we're in a beer pong tournament. And it's so the person that owns our Airbnb, a guy named Slater, super cool guy. We have to shout him out because he owns the bar too, and he owns the nightclub. So yeah, if you ever come to Indianapolis,
what's the name of it? The
salon? The patron saint is the nightclub. Saints something. Saint Shack.
Shack. The Saint Shack is the name of the upstairs bar. The downstairs nightclub, which was not cranked up last night. I guess it only cranks up later in the weekend.
The nightclub's open tonight.
Oh, okay. So anyway,
that's what we heard until 3-something o'clock this morning.
Yeah. There to the point where in the Airbnb that we're in the nightstand, there are earplugs. Yeah, because they know that's going to be an issue. But who's shocked that Jeremy found a place with a bar underneath? Who's shocked that we spent most of the night there last night?
Who's shocked that our bar tab was $32 somehow, and I was drunker than hell.
Yeah.
And then I got to hear Tank because we're sharing a bathroom. We each have our own individual bedroom, but it's a communal bathroom. And at 7:30 this morning, I got to hear Mark Starling, and I was like, I don't know that I've ever wanted to kill two people as much as I do right now.
I got to get up in the morning and make sure that my morning show's working. Anyway.
Well, you could do that. Could you do it a little
do
quieter?
It in your room.
Do it in your room and do it quieter. It's kind of like that other thing I told you could do. You just do it quietly, and I don't need to know about it. You nasty bastard.
Let's get to the to the action of the day. Biggest takeaway of the day.
Dave Canales is super impressive.
Yes, Dave Canales is awesome. Panther fans, you're going to be real excited about this guy for a long time. I tried to get excited about Matt Rule. I got excited about Frank Reich. I thought that was going to be the way that you need to go. Obviously, those weren't the paths, but now that Dave's just such a smart guy. And the way he talks about learning the roster and getting to know the players and really deep diving into what's good and what's not about this roster. And he's not Rick Pitino. He's not out here calling out the guys in front of the media. But you could tell with some of the answers to his questions that there were a lot of things that he did not like, and he's not going to shy away from making this team the best that it could be. My favorite part of his press conference was when he said, people keep saying that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers overachieved this past year, and he hates the fact that people say that. It's true, but he likes to look at it from the angle of we got the most out of this roster. We didn't do anything in free agency last year, and then we just kind of came in and went, okay, this is what we've got to work with. Let's get the most out of it. And that's what he's going to do in Carolina. Mm-hmm. He said there's no fix for Bryce Young. You don't have to fix Bryce Young. He's not broken.
Nope.
All you have to do is put the pieces around him, and
I feel like any Panther fan that heard what I heard today, and it may not convey with. By the way, did you notice that super annoying guy that was filming it? He had the camera on the gimbal, and he just. I genuinely was like, dude, before you do these panoramic shots, maybe you should look to see if you're going to run this poor woman over for the fourth time.
I did not notice him.
He had a man poof. He had a little fun guy haircut.
Mm-hmm. You could do that if you put yours up in a little bun.
Probably going to tomorrow.
Oh, that'll be lovely. Lovely.
I'll put it up like Roman Reigns, and then I'll just look at Ian Rappaport tomorrow. Acknowledge me. Yeah. I'll do it too.
Red Sea, yes, we did see that Shaq Barrett got cut loose first thing this morning. Saw that before
that was talked about. That was talked about a good bit today of where he could land. Denver was that was the one I kept hearing.
Him going back to Denver wouldn't be a terrible situation.
John Smith.
He got too expensive, and he wasn't worth it.
Correct.
I mean, he's a two-time All-Pro, but for God's sakes, you can't have a guy on your roster that's not going to be elite and pay him, or he's not going to bring you in the production, and you're still going to pay him $27 million. This is not going to happen.
Fact.
That's why many Panthers fans are worried about Brian Burns. Are we going to pay Brian Burns $27 million, and the dude's only had, 12 and a half sacks? Best year he's had? Something like that? Why would you do that?
Johnny Smith. That was also
Smith
a story.
I
guess we can just assume that he's going to Pittsburgh now.
So
we can sit back.
100%.
Now we can just sit back and assume Pat Freiermuth will be the new tight end that we can't understand why he's not catching passes at the expense of Johnny Smith. Do you see Kelvin Joyner's comment there?
Kelvin Joyner's comment, I imagine that drinking between sports people is the same as golfing between lawyers. That's when all the deals get done.
Hold on, let me give this the levity it deserves. That's a damn fact. Many of the things that we get to do now are things that I have brokered over many cocktails. Tank will get to meet some more of my friends this evening, and they will become his friends.
Indeed, because I'm friends with everybody. Patrick Holt says, anyone throw a drink on Tepper yet? No, he didn't show up.
No, we didn't see Tepper. We saw Dan Morgan. We saw Canales.
We did. Hopefully I'll have some Dan Morgan sound for you tomorrow. I missed the podium portion because we got to a point where we had to go get something to eat. And so
we had to eat or die.
Yeah. So I missed the podium portion of his, but I was part of the reporter gaggle afterwards. So there's some more one-on-one sound that I'll be bringing you with Dan Morgan tomorrow. I got all of the Dave Canales interview or the podium time, so we'll bring you that sound tomorrow as well.
We got a whole setup on radio. We got a whole set on Radio Row, which is pretty sweet. Can I ask you a question?
Me? Yeah.
Why in the hell did we not bring helmets?
Well, because we had so much other shit to carry that I didn't even think about it.
I saw helmets,
table skirts. I got.
I saw helmets, and I was like, "Son of a hooer! Why did we not bring helmets?"
I got all of the radio equipment. And see, what we need to do is we need to get some of our customs friends to make us some Sportsocracy football helmets. That's what I would like to have by this time next combine.
Next year, I want to look at the Athletic and all of the other like big entities, and I want to be able to say it: suck it long, suck it hard. Because we in this bitch. Because I'll design it. I just need somebody to pay for it.
Absolutely.
I got one in mind.
We're kicking in the door on the big boys this year, and it's been quite fun so far. Second biggest takeaway of the day for me. I don't really know any other way to say this, but Nick Sirianni's a piece of shit. I mean, maybe that's a little too much. But
you never say those things when you're in the same city with the guy. Just throwing that out there.
Well, I doubt he's watching. And Big Dom, if you're watching, I apologize. But
Big Dom's
he will kill me.
Big Dom's going to pick his teeth with you tomorrow. He was with Sirianni.
Nick Sirianni, every time he opens his mouth, it's just like I lose a little bit more hope for him. I can't say respect because I'm not sure it's ever been there. But I lose faith. I lose hope that the Philadelphia Eagles are making the right decision by keeping him around. It's just something about that little group that throws me off.
Well, he talked for an obnoxiously long time, too.
I was watching them as Howie Roseman is up on the podium. They were hanging out behind the stage waiting for Nick to come up after Howie was done.
And now you got to understand, Tank was up at the stage, so he didn't get to see the part that I got to see.
I was standing there with my mic, holding it, and I'm just kind of looking off to the side, and I'm watching those three. It's Nick Sirianni and Big Dom, and I don't know who that was. He kind of looked like that Sean Stellato guy that's Tommy Cutlett's manager or former manager or whatever. I don't know, and it's just I don't know. It's just something about the chemistry between those three, and they were laughing and cutting up, and you could tell they were making fun of somebody in the crowd and pointing at them and giggling, and I was just...
It might have been me.
It might have been. It might have been. Hey, look at that big dumbass mulleted guy over there. He's Dom, I bet you could kick his ass. I think he might be able to take you.
I bet you Dom would know he had been in a battle. I can't tell you I could take him, but I can tell you that he would know he had been ruffled with.
I don't know. And then he gets up there on the podium, and it's just a whole lot of nothing. And he went for shit the bed last year.
He basically shut the whole enterprise down in the back.
He did.
The security guys, the comms guys, none of them could figure out exactly what was happening. Nobody could figure out why it was going on so long. One of them came up and asked me, "Who is that? And why is he still on the stage?" You were up by the stage, and one of the guys with the comment is here just basically came up and said, I don't know who that is, and I don't know why he's still on the stage.
Yeah.
And I told him it's Nick Sirianni of the Eagles, and then I could hear him chirping back and forth. And he went on for 30 minutes.
At least.
And Howie Roseman was right before him. So the Eagles were on the podium for probably 45 minutes.
You will hear Nick Sirianni's rambling in the background of the Dave Canales interview. Because they were right near, they were on podiums right next to each other, and Nick Sirianni started 10 minutes before Dave Canales even showed up. And he was still going as Dave was taking like the last question.
Yep.
It took forever. And I don't know. It's just The guy bothers me. I don't like him as a leader. I think he's a buffoon, and he only proved that even more to me today.
Conversely, Howie Roseman is incredibly impressive.
He's awesome.
Howie, I almost felt bad for Howie because this was what he's talking about was happening behind Howie Roseman, and it was interesting. It was super interesting. I see now you're gonna say the screen is super far away from me, and I don't see so hot. So, Notorious B.I.G. It looks like he asked if we're gonna be live during the workouts
or just during the basic drills.
All right. So here's how the schedule is gonna go for the rest of the week. Our ESPN show will be live from Radio Row. You will get to see all the goings on. We're still trying to figure out exactly where everything goes. We have a big backdrop thanks to our friends at Ingles. Low prices. Of the savings. Can't wait. Tank pointed this out because we're in an area that doesn't have Ingles, and he pointed out that people are going to think that says Ingles because they don't know what Ingles is.
Yep.
And frankly,
it never fails.
Frankly, that's the greatest marketing opportunity ever that I get to explain. We have the best grocery store chain in the country, and trust me, I will. There's a reason sponsors like me because. If you're in my corner, I'm in yours because we don't endorse people we don't believe in, and we believe in Ingles a lot, and they believe in us a lot.
Yes, they do.
They're why we're here. So we're still figuring out all of that, but we'll be live for the 12 to 3. We may do something before that's not on the radio. Not 100% sure because we're going to be there from 8 to 12 with players and things like that happening on the other side of the wall. So we will do the ESPN radio show. Then we will have to pack up all of the things, put them in the luggage, bring them back here, get to Lucas Oil. We cannot stream anything from inside Lucas Oil. It's an NFL Network property. We can't – nothing can be videoed in there. But what I'm thinking is we may come back here and do a Boozy Live. Set everything up because it took literally 5 minutes to set this up when we got here. So that's my thought. And then we come back and talk about what we saw at the workouts, and I think that's how the schedule is going to go. And then I'm going to try to not kill Tank.
I'm already grating on his nerves, as you
No, not at all. It's just last night Tank tried to drink with the big dog, and for one night that is doable.
I was going to say, I felt like I did pretty well.
You did.
I did pretty well.
And then you just devoured Rally's cheeseburger at 2 o'clock this morning that somebody brought by doing crimes in the road.
Was it a Rally's?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Didn't know we had crossed the Rally's Checkers divide.
We had.
That's a big one. That's another thing that I've already taken stock of is the food, at least the fast food. Before we get back to the other side of the country, I have to stop at a White Castle, and I have to try Skyline Chili.
There's a White Castle down the street.
I know. Oh, I saw it on my walk this morning. That will definitely be in my future.
Oh, I'm going to have to plug up the computer. Hold on. You keep talking. Yeah, you keep talking. I'll be back.
All right. Let's see here. Look at the YouTube comments. Hey, did lots of concern for my kneecaps. I appreciate it, guys. Do what? Oh, Big Dom, yeah, definitely. I'm going to take care of that. I mean, that's the only reason that Nick Sirianni's still employed by the Philadelphia Eagles is because Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie are scared of what their team of dudes is going to do to them. Joshua Penix wants to know what he missed. Me bashing Nick Sirianni and making enemies in the Italian population. Rumors about Washington taking Joe Alt. That's not happening.
Don't get shocked.
I feel pretty certain after watching Adam Peters today, I feel pretty certain that's quarterback or nothing.
Yeah,
and I feel pretty certain that that's an edict from on high.
Does it not strike you as strange that he was that open and honest about it?
That they were searching for a quarterback?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Does it not strike you as strange that he said they were really happy with what they had with Sam, taking all the avenues at quarterback?
That was a secondary, though, after he had already – somebody asked the quarterback question, And then he goes on and on about evaluating the quarterbacks and finding the right guy and blah, 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 blah. And then after the 2-minute answer on why we're looking for a quarterback, he throws in, oh, I mean, we're happy with Sam. He told a nice little story that I'll play for you tomorrow about Sam coming over and they went on a walk together, got to know each other. It's all very nice and cordial, new relationship between him and Adam Peters. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading the situation wrong. You know me. I'm wrong quite often.
I'm always nervous when somebody's that open and honest. Because nobody's that open and honest because it takes away your leverage.
But you don't have any leverage.
100% you have leverage. You have the number 2 pick in the draft. You have all the leverage you want. There's no team in the NFL that has more leverage than the Washington Commanders other than the Chicago Bears. And the Bears don't really have that much because they can't hardly bypass on Caleb Williams. So, yes, in that, I disagree with you vehemently. And trust me, I sat there and listened to Peters and went, man, this feels like bullshit. Like everything you've said here feels like bullshitski.
There haven't been, he said today that there haven't been any meetings so far between the Sam and Cliff, and they haven't even really sat down to get. That was one of the things that got me about all of these new coaches is that I don't know. I guess I just assumed that everyone would be more gung-ho, right?
Well, the players aren't
ready to get up and get to going. But it was the way that they were talking about, like Jason Light, talking about the preparations for the draft. That Liam Cohen hadn't even been in the building yet. They hadn't even talked about plans for this combine, who they're looking at, all of that. It just kind of surprises me that you wouldn't be further along in the process. I mean, I get it's only been a few weeks, and you just got done with the season. Everybody needs vacation, right? I don't know. It was one of those things that took me back. Like, how have you not had these conversations yet? And maybe they have, and they're just lying to us if they don't want us to know that they're having conversations of what they're looking for in the draft.
Well, you're not because nobody knows.
Yeah.
That's the thing. All right, so let me I'll explain to you. This is how teams work. So you got scouts that over the course of the year, they're out actually scouting players. I talked to a couple scouts earlier today that are here and, just some informational stuff, off-the-record stuff. These guys have their boards not locked in, but they feel pretty good. They're going to convene basically starting next week. Mm-hmm. They'll go into the facility. They will spend the next 2 months building the draft board out together. Because right now you have 15, 20 pieces of this puzzle, and you have to put the pieces of the puzzle together. So I've always kind of laughed at the order that we do this, because when these GMs say, what are we doing? They don't know. They don't know. They're not lying to you. They don't know. Mm-hmm. So we do things out of order, and, so like Pennywise talking about Joe Alt. Is that possible? It's absolutely possible. Anybody that tells you it's not, it's a damn liar. The problem is that it's hard for me to put too much stock into the rumor because the same thing applies there. It's too early for that rumor to really be started. Mm-hmm. When the rumor should get hot is if Washington made a move on a veteran quarterback or if they didn't attack offensive tackle in free agency. That's when you should start really looking into this going, maybe there is some smoke to that fire. And over the course of the next handful of nights, like Kelvin Joyner said, we're going to learn some shit in some bars.
That's right. You never know what you're going to
now, the question is, do I convince him to stay in this lovely Airbnb for an extra night? Because I think there's a great possibility of that.
Oh, well, we can certainly discuss it once we get there. Like I said, I'm loving everything so far about Indianapolis, and it's a place that I'm going to be ready to come back to.
No
next
doubt.
Year.
Every year.
It's been a lot of fun. Who's on your freak list out of this group of players? Kelvin Joyner wants to know. A lot of that kind of gets decided this week.
So every day we will have lives every day, including Saturday. Because we'll be on Radio Row Saturday as well. And so the way this is going to go is the room is laid out that Radio Row is on one side. All the podium interviews happen on the other side. A lot of these guys, especially the players will do this more than even the coaches and GMs. Once they come off the podium, they're going to come to Radio Row and just be looking for a spot to land because they want to talk. Mm-hmm. And we're going to give them a place to talk. Mm-hmm. And Jeremy loves to talk, and I'm not scared of much. So I'll be like, hey, come here. We got a seat for you right there. You sit right there, and you talk to us, and we'll ask you questions. And if you're over 21, we might even have a cold beer.
So when we have to have stupid questions, we have to have one stupid question to ask everybody, right? You have to have the icebreaker question. So I'm going to throw this out in the chat, or you guys throw this out in the chat. Best icebreaker questions for the combine participants. And then we'll try to weave them into the conversation.
More likely
if we get them on.
More likely that they're real. Sasquatch or birds?
That's a great one. That's the kind of shit I'm talking about. Those can elicit some great responses from young-minded guys. Anyhow, what are the odds that MHJ falls to 5-0?
Let's see. There's a better chance of Jeremy being nominated for the Democratic presidential nomination and riding in on a pterodactyl to the DNC and nominating Bernie Sanders to be my vice president.
Good answer. Had to get that in there.
There's a better chance of Scott Stapp retiring from Creed, asking me to take his place, and then him serving as my agent. There's a better chance of somebody looking at the Photoshop picture of me and my wife and saying she outkicked her coverage.
We're in the bar last night downstairs, and we're drinking, and of course Jeremy, as he does to everybody, starts talking about how much he outkicked his coverage with his hot wife Amy. Now.
Oh, I'm the worst person on the planet to hit on because the second I feel like I'm getting hit on, I'm like,
pulls out the picture.
Yep, look how hot my wife is. You're not even kind of doing it.
To show the pictures, he pulls out a picture that I'm not sure what post-picture editing was done to that, but she is completely clear, crystal clear. In this image, he's like blurred and faded in the background. I shit you not, it looks like he photoshopped a hot girl into his picture and is now going around Indianapolis telling everybody, this is my wife.
It is my wife, and I have wedding pictures. The reason Jeremy looks faded is because Jeremy was faded. Just a completely.
She did that?
Oh no! You're using faded in your way. I'm using faded in my way.
I see.
I was LMNO.
You got so drunk that your picture got fuzzy.
Correct.
That is impressive.
We were with Bert that night.
But yeah.
That was when we went to Greenville, and we were with Bert Kreischer, and that was in the crowd. She took a picture because we were in the pit, and I look fuzzy, and she doesn't, and she looks smoking hot as she does.
Yeah. So it looks like Mr. Master Adobe Worksman, whatever the hell you call that thing.
Adobe Master.
Yeah, Adobe
Master and 16 different Adobe platforms.
Has photoshopped some hot chick into his pictures and is telling everybody that that's his wife. And they think worse of me because I'm backing up the lie.
I mean, I've also got wedding pictures that she did marry me.
Did you ever actually pull out a real picture?
That is a real picture.
No. No, I mean another one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just curious. I don't, because we got such a great laugh out of the Photoshop thing that became a running joke for the rest of the night.
Yeah, and I would tell you I remember that, but that was Jeremy started drinking tequila.
Adam Black's got a great question for a recruit that we will ask, or for a prospect that we will ask. Creed, banger or trash?
And if they answer trash, they're off my board.
7th round, yeah. It's maybe UDFA.
Patrick Holt asked if we're on OnlyFans or not.
No. That's for the prospect. We should ask them. Do you have an OnlyFans?
Can I tell them what my OnlyFans page name is?
Yes.
No dicks, just pics.
Yes.
Marketing, baby. You need a marketing guy? I know a mulleted guy that would love to latch onto a 5th-round running back.
How much do you tip your waitress? I like that.
20% minimum. I know what you're doing, but I'm just giving my answer for these questions.
Okay, Red Sea says, did you guys see Monty at all?
I did.
I missed Austin.
I did. I got to listen to him. He was really, really bright. He was another one that was like a big win of the interviews for me. I found myself, and that's kind of, anytime I do these things, that's how I know somebody's being genuine, because I always start in the back. I'm not that. First of all, I don't like being in the way. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you
tall.
And I am super tall. Mm-hmm. Did you see my interaction with Andrew Siciliano?
I did not.
So I did not know this. I assumed this, but Siciliano is not the tallest guy you've ever met in your life. And he had this super cute little sweet girl with him that I'm sure works at NFL Network with him. And she was trying to get a picture on her cell phone. And she tapped me on the shoulder and she's like, is there any way I could get right there? And so I just kind of pushed up and then I pulled back and just went, there you go. Mm-hmm. And she thanked me, and I was it's really my role as the big dude I'm going to push my way into the crowd and then let you fill the gap because I have no interest in being
I know a lot of you will never be in this scenario, never maybe even dreamed of being in this scenario, but being a member of the media in a gaggle or at a podium setting or anything like that where people are trying to do their jobs and get the sound that they need to do their jobs, it's just like being on the roadways. Don't be a dick.
And there's so many of these
people. Right, like when we were doing the side gaggle, that's what they call it, when all the reporters get around one person. We all gathered around Dan Morgan after he finished his podium thing. And one of the women that works for the Charlotte sports TV channel, I can't remember, CSL or something like that. Anyway, it's Charlotte Sports Live, I think is what they call it.
I think.
Anyway, she comes in to try, and I see a microphone come over my eye shot, and so all it took was just one step back, and here you go, get in here, and they're all super grateful. You don't have to be a dick. You don't have to be the guy that's up at the front blocking everybody else out. This ain't a. You know,
and we all know those guys.
It bothers me.
We do. We all know those guys, and the guys that you think it probably is, but it is. Mm-hmm. Especially if their name is the same as a cookie. You'll figure out
names.
Yeah, you'll figure out who I'm talking about there in a minute. You'll laugh.
Larry Nabisco? Yeah, I hate that guy.
No, it's a fig. Motherfucker has the softest hands. It freaked me the hell. It freaks me out every time he does that.
All I know is I hate his writing. Don't think I had ever heard him speak before, but having him stand next to me and speak, I think I want to punch him even more.
I don't want to punch him. I just feel like he's no, we're not going to say the name, but you may have figured out who we're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
He strikes me as a guy that introduces his partner in life as his lover or his muse.
It's 100%.
No doubt.
My muse.
No doubt.
My muse, Tamara. I don't know why I just gave
I don't know
name,
why,
but
that was
works.
the perfect name.
It works.
Hit 810 Media Group.
Havoc. Hang on, I want to get to Havoc here because he asked about Brock Bowers. There was a rumor about Brock Bowers going to the Titans at 6, and so he wants to know if that's a possibility, and then said thoughts on him being paired up with Chig for the Tennessee Titans offense.
I would say it's a possibility, but Rome and MHJ would have to be gone. Did you get to see Callahan at all?
I did.
He was super, super nice.
He was good, and yeah, he's another one of those that I feel like he's walking into such a different scenario, like Dave Canales is with Carolina. Of this is really going to prove how good of a coach you can be, because Dave walked into the, he was in Seattle, where you're the offensive coordinator, you've got all of the pieces to make a good offense. You go to Tampa, where he got the best out of Baker Mayfield. It's kind of hard not to get the best out of a guy who's got 2 all-pro fucking wide receivers to throw to. And he's going to Carolina, where he's got a quarterback who looked like a deer in headlights last year, and you don't have a line, you don't have weapons, you don't have anything. Is there a gauge for you? Is there a number of success that you can put on success for Dave Canales in Carolina this year? Number of wins? Because I think I'm at 4.
In Carolina?
Yeah, I think I'm at 4. If he gets 4 wins, I think I'll be impressed.
Oh, I'm way higher.
Oh, he's got to get more?
I'm way higher. No. Got to get more? No. I think he will.
Oh. If he does, awesome. But I think maybe I'll go 5. He gets 5 wins. I'll go, that was a damn good job.
And I don't know. I have a weird belief in him. I think nobody's going to believe in him. But what I just saw, that dude will get people to run through a wall for him. And I feel the same way about Brian Callahan.
Yeah.
So funny story. I ran into him in the bathroom. Seriously. I didn't place who he was. He did an interview with the group, because we were one of the only shows that didn't do a show today. And frankly, that was an F up on our part. We will do one moving forward, because we easily could have. Mm-hmm. We thought we were going to be over there with the interviews and all those things. We're learning as we go. But Callahan did an interview with the group in front of us. And so I had seen him, and I was like, who is this guy? I can't place that face. And then I ran into him at a urinal, because I stopped at the bathroom, and he was beside me. And while we were washing our hands, I went, Brian Callahan, I finally figured out who you are. And he was so nice. I'm sure he was like, who the hell are you?
Mm-hmm. I don't know if I'd have said anything in that scenario. That was interesting.
I don't care.
Okay. I mean, that's fine.
What's he going to do,
you know
pee
what?
on my shoe?
That makes it memorable.
What's he going to do, pee on my shoe?
I mean, he could have. He could have. That'd been a hell of a story.
I mean, by the time I placed who he was.
You keep talking to everybody in the bathroom. Eventually, somebody's going to piss on your shoe, and we're going to have a hell of a story to tell.
They breathe. And we have a washing machine in the room. So we stayed in Airbnb. I think 810 Media Group.
I think I almost hit John Lynch in the face with the bathroom door, which was we both locked eyes for a second. I didn't dare say anything to him, but that's they don't talk to people in bathrooms. Did your dad never teach you that?
I mean, I don't. If D is O, then the mouth shut. As soon as
8.
As soon as PP goes back behind zipper, we're fine.
810 Media Group. I love the fact that you guys are doing this. Give us real, raw media. Also, if you get anything on the Lions, holla at your boy.
Dan Campbell was real quiet.
Yeah.
So Brad Holmes is today, actually. He's probably actually on the podium right now.
He is on the podium right now. They had like a 2-hour gap.
Yeah, and there were like
nothing.
3 dudes there late, and we figured out a lot today. We're going to take my luggage back with all of the things, because we hoofed it 0.2 of a mile. I made 3 trips, 2 of them with very large bags on my back. So tomorrow we're going to do it with the rolly bag.
Yeah. Dan Campbell. I did not get sound to play back tomorrow from him because he was so quiet, and they had him and Sean Payton at podiums right next to each other. There's only so you've seen it on television, but you can't see like how far apart these stations are. There are eight podiums. Mm-hmm. There's 8 podiums, and then there's 5 more secondary podiums that are lettered. And it's all along a line in this big banquet hall at the convention center. And they're probably 6 feet apart, maybe. The speakers for the podiums are only 6 feet apart. I was standing right in between Dan Campbell and Sean Payton, and they're competing with each other, and Sean Payton was just way too loud, and you would not have been able to hear anything that Dan Morgan was saying. So, unfortunately, I didn't get any sound from him. Maybe I can find some to pull off somewhere. Listening to him, it was all the same stuff I mean, he's damn near perfect in my eyes. He's like the perfect football coach. Says all the right things at the right times. He may not make the right calls at the right times. There was a lot of discussion about the fourth quarter calls in the San Francisco game, but I didn't pull anything special away from Dan Campbell's podium time, other than they're in great shape for the future.
But by the way, that's a KFC thing.
Chicken pizza?
Apparently.
Interesting. Are you that hungry?
No. I was actually trying to get some beer delivered, to be really honest with you.
Well, look at you. Thinking of big boy ideas. I like that.
Mom didn't raise no dummy.
Adam Black. Did you just tune in? Because we were talking about Canales there for a long time.
We love Canales.
Absolutely loved him. He was super impressive. I love the attitude of I'm coming in here, I'm picking the best parts of this roster, and I'm going to get the most out of them. And he's got my full support, absolutely, in the Dave Canales camp. As far as the ownership, I'm still a little put off. But hey, you don't have to like your owner, right? Did you guys see any interviews with the Saints coaching staff?
I don't think anybody was here.
I don't think.
I mean, they're here, but they weren't on the podium.
They might have been on here. Let me check.
They weren't on the podium. Saints were one of the. I did a list.
Not even tomorrow.
No,
because there's some that are going tomorrow.
Yep, none of them. Nobody from the Saints is on a podium.
Huh. That's weird.
But if we get a shot to rope somebody in, trust me, we will.
Oh, absolutely. We want to cover that was one of the things that I was trying to do by going to all of the podiums, was to make sure that we got your teams. We know which teams you like. I had to make sure that I was up front to get some Harbaugh sound for Stephen Tao. Had to get the Panther sound for Vic and Adam and all of the others, and the local needs as well. I tried to make it a point to be there for at least one person of everybody's team.
That was our goal.
So, tried to do my best on that part. Did not, and you know what? As I was going through the list, it never even crossed my mind that there are no Saints on this. But yeah, they're not even on the schedule.
Trust me, if there had been anybody there, we would have been there for them.
No doubt.
I can't make them show up.
I had to make sure that I was there for Adam Peters. For our Commanders fans, Dan Quinn did not take the podium, or has not taken the podium yet. He won't do that until 5 o'clock. So we didn't make it for Dan Quinn. But, wanted to make sure that we touched all those bases. Adam Black says, is Mike Evans to the Panthers a real possibility?
No. I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I think him and Canales had a really good relationship, and that's what we do. That's what we do, and I don't buy it. I don't think it's a real thing.
Well, Panthers need a wide receiver, and everybody wants them to have one. They want, it was.
They're going to make a run at him.
T. Higgins is hitting the open market. Let's go do that.
Nope.
And, of course, that didn't happen. Mike Evans is now, obviously, you've watched Mike Evans torture you for 11 years. So, of course, you're going to go after it. They will make the play. He wants to go somewhere. If he's going anywhere, and I'm going to continue to say that, if he goes anywhere,
he's going somewhere.
He will go to a winner. He will go somewhere where he can get another Super Bowl ring. Jason Light got very defensive today when the question was asked. We're continuing to hear that you guys are far apart. He said, "When did you hear that? Because we're much closer now." So maybe there is some movement there. I tried to ask the question of Todd Bowles, and yes, I did make it through the Todd Bowles thing without yelling obscenities. But I tried to ask him the question at the end of his podium time. We're trying to put the band, or no, it was like that I asked. We're trying to put the band back together here. How big of a problem is that? Well, it's the biggest problem that we have. Mm-hmm. We have guys like Levante David, who has now said, I want to be here or I don't want to be anywhere. He's either coming back to the Bucs or he's going to retire. Mike Evans is kind of in the same boat. He wants to win. He wants to go somewhere where he can be successful. But this is also the place that I've spent 11 years of my career. I've set every franchise record. I'm ingrained in the community. If y'all can come close to my number, why wouldn't I stay?
Because he can't win there.
And he already did.
He knows it.
He already did.
Yeah.
He already won there, and maybe the money will matter. I'd love to see him win again somewhere. I'd rather see him go, honestly. But that's just me. I want him to go to Kansas City. I want him to go to Kansas City and win another 2 titles with them.
After my conversation with Andy Reid earlier,
he's motivated.
I like that guy a lot. He reminds me of everybody's papa.
Yes. Yes, he does.
He just likes a cold beer and something fried.
Any more news on Caleb Williams or Jaden Daniels?
Nothing specifically, but quarterback workout days, and obviously we'll be here for that. That's when you'll get more. And we're going to do positional things each day. So just, look for those as the time goes on. These are more of the broader – today's more of the broader strokes day of – some news came out with individual teams, one of which I think we need to touch on because I'm seeing it a bunch about L'Jarius Sneed.
Yep.
That they're planning on tagging him if no deal is reached, and they're okay with making a trade if that's the way it needs to go. Mike Baker asked, what would a realistic trade package look like?
For L'Jarius Sneed?
Yeah, he's so young that – I think it's probably 2 day 2 picks. I don't think you're getting 1 because you do have to pay him $1 bajillion.
Mm-hmm. Would that be like a 2 and a 3?
Yeah, probably.
Or we're talking 2 2s.
I'm thinking 2 and a 3.
Oof, I'm thinking 2 2s.
You always.
I think I could get more out of him than that.
You always overvalue players.
A stud, young, shutdown corner. He's worth 2 2s.
Oh, I'm not telling you he's not worth it. I'm telling you what I think it would be. What you're worth and what you can get are completely different. So that's where I think it would go. Might be a player involved too. You never know.
Yep. Dan Campbell was quiet. He must have the Bernie Sanders virus. Very good.
He was quiet. It was weird. Can't answer my mouth.
Thoughts on the Commanders' new GM, Adam Peters?
I was impressed.
I liked it. I thought he answered all the questions well. It was all well thought out. The only problem that I had was when I came in, because I didn't see the initial part of his podium today, but what I did see was I walked in and he's talking about how much they're focusing on going after a quarterback, and then in the next breath coming back and saying we really like Sam. I get why you have to do that, but I don't know that I would have gone so. I don't know that I would have expounded so much on the quarterback search if I'm really trying to make people believe that we're going to stick with Sam. I think that new ownership is heavy in on drafting a quarterback, but that's just me. We'll see. Let's see. Havoc says, I know Jeremy's in tip of charging during this whole adventure. Have you ever had to tell Tank, the cheapster, to tip more?
Tank tips reasonably well.
I tip pretty well.
He knows what
I'm cheap. I'm cheap as fuck when it comes to the price of things. I will pay for my service. If you give me good service, I will give you a great tip. It'll be on the cheapest thing on the menu.
How much did I tip last night?
I don't know. I did not see the bill last night, so I don't know how much you tipped.
I don't remember how much the bill was. I just remember it was weirdly low.
It was. Our servers are well taken care of. Let's see. Andreas Pinckney says he's happy that the Saints are not talking Dennis Allen needs to be quiet this offseason. He needs to just go away, right?
Agreed.
Anything on the Bears?
I ran into Ryan Poles earlier. His cardigan game, solid. It's a very sweet sweater he had on. He's a really impressive guy. I haven't loved every decision he's made, but there is a mute button.
There is a mute button right there.
I haven't loved every decision he's made, but I'm always I always come away impressed when I hear him talk, and he was the same way face to face. So, I mean, look, I think the Bears are in good shape. You just have to – you got to keep chopping wood. And I don't 100% know what I would do. I don't love Caleb Williams. Everybody knows that. I don't love Justin Fields. I'm not sure I don't love Justin Fields better than every quarterback in this draft class, and I should tell you something. But I also don't know that I could resist the urge to restart the rookie clock.
I would have to.
But Daniel Vales, I hope it's Vales. Please tell me if I said that incorrectly. We will have one of our Bear aficionados on with us at some point this week. A dude named Lauren Cox, who is also one of my partners in crime in situations like this.
Let's see here. What do you guys think about Mike Williams, Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa? What are they worth in terms of trade value?
Mack's a day 3 pick. Bosa's probably not tremendously more than that. Mike Williams probably not tremendously more than that. I think they're worth more to you on the roster than they are in a trade.
I would agree. I wouldn't give up significant capital for any of those guys except for Joey Bosa.
And you shouldn't give up significant capital for him.
Probably shouldn't, but I'd be tempted to.
It's easy to do. For me, I'd rather have Jared Verse. Cheap.
Yeah. Cheap. Yeah, cheap and young and
5 years of cheap.
Running back market with no tags has me curious how it shakes out.
Saquon ends up back with the Giants. I would say Pollard probably moves on. Josh Jacobs probably ends up back with the Raiders. If I were betting right now, that's what I'd be betting on.
I would agree with all of that. Derrick Henry will. I don't know that I can see him leaving Tennessee.
Oh, he's 100% leaving.
You think so?
100%, no doubt. He's headed elsewhere. Actually, and I don't know the guy's name. He kind of looked like Adam Kaplan, but he wasn't Adam Kaplan. I know that because I talked to Adam Kaplan earlier today. I heard him with the show that was across from us. We need to talk to those guys tomorrow. They were on air most of the day, but I'm really curious who that dude with no teeth is. I need to know who you are.
Oh yeah.
Did you notice him?
Yes, I did. I did.
I need to know what your story is.
Well, he's a Tennessee Vol fan. I can already see it. I mean, he's the guy that's been the original Tennessee Titans fan. And for some reason,
are they Tennessee guys?
Yeah.
The ones in front of us?
Yeah. The one guy was wearing a Titans hat. The toothless guy wasn't he?
I didn't notice that much. I just noticed the guy in front of me had a great voice, and it wasn't forced. So it wasn't we're back here at the NFL Combat. No, he just had the booming Sam Elliott type voice. I don't know why I turned into Captain Kirk. I did.
Was that Captain Kirk?
Not Captain.
I think you need to.
I don't know. I don't watch your Space
Star Trek.
Bears bullshit, okay? I don't know which one of your fucking made-up space people that was. It was one of them. Okay? Learn a book, bitch. I'm tired. You woke me up with Mark Starling talking about politics at 7.
Let's see here.
I love Mark. He married me, but I could have lived my whole life without being woke up by his voice.
Mike Baker, if and when the Chiefs tag and trade Snead, what would realistically? We already answered that. How about who is you guys' wish list to talk to or interview?
Well, I will not be around for the start of the show tomorrow because I will be talking to Joe Douglas.
Yes.
And now my hope is that he looks at me and says that he wants to go do karate in the garage, at which point Tank will have to fill the whole first hour because Mike or Joe D and I will be doing kung fu in the garage.
My wish list starts at Andy Reid. When
I talked to him, we didn't interview him.
No,
but
we didn't interview him. It was, hey, Coach, how you doing? I would love to sit down and just talk with Andy Reid. And I don't even really have to talk to him about football.
So engaging.
He's just a guy that I've always admired since he was in Philadelphia. I've been a big fan of his forever, and I feel like we'd have a lot in common. We could talk. I can take him some of my mom's cookies that she made. He would love me forever.
Oh my God! I have to tell this story. So Mama Tank made a gigantic bag of cookies that are out of this world.
Phenomenal.
As soon as Tank saw me shake hands with Andy Reid, the only thing he has been able to talk about since is I should have walked up to Andy Reid and said, "Can we share one of my mom's cookies? Mm-hmm. I'll eat one first, so you know it doesn't have like crimes in it."
We'll be best friends, and I'll always be on his Christmas card list from there on, because that's the kind of guy Andy Reid is.
No doubt.
In my head.
No doubt.
He is on my list. John Lynch would be on there as well. Love to sit down and talk football with that guy. There are a lot of guys here. John Harbaugh was another one. That was probably the one of the day that I geeked out the most about, was being in front of the podium with John Harbaugh. Like, I couldn't stop looking at him, like, intently engaged in every word that he talks about, because I love the guy as a coach so much.
Who's your, oh crap, that's blank so far?
What do you mean?
You see somebody and go, oh shit, that's.
Ooh. Well, I had the first one this morning when I saw Peter Schrager, and I thought violent thoughts in my head. There's something about that guy's face I just can't stand.
Schrags is awesome.
He's funny. And I'll give him that.
I love Schrags.
But something about that face just. Poof.
I thought I saw Kay Adams earlier, and
yeah, that would be one. I feel like we'll all know when Jeremy sees Kay Adams.
I got weird, and it wasn't even her. Hi.
The other one was Matthew Berry, because Matthew Berry is in the shit with all the reporters. I mean, he is in the gaggles. Did that
catch you off guard? Because it kind of did.
It did, because most of the big names, they're all hanging out at the back of the room at the big sets. So you got the big studio set. There's Radio Row, where there's 40-some tables of the littler guys
45.
that include us.
That's not the littler guys.
Well,
those are all team specific.
But they're not NFL Network. They're not ESPN. They're the like you said, the team networks. They're the athletic
is
guys,
right beside us.
But they're the smaller guys. The main stage is what I'm talking about.
Well, they don't have a live set. The live sets that I saw, NFL Network has a set in the stadium because it's an NFL Network property.
Mm-hmm.
NBC Sports has a set in the building. Mm-hmm. I don't know who that was on the corner. Who had the big set on the corner?
Don't remember.
We stared at this all day long.
Yes, I
don't know.
I do not remember who it was. Anyway, most of the big names, they're all hanging out. You know, Mike Florio and who else was out there? Chris Sims and all of those guys. They hang out at the back of the room. Don't really see them all that much. Matthew Berry's down in the shit with all of us.
Matthew Berry's been standing
notes
on
his phone, and he's just.
I bet I saw him record 100 answers on his phone today.
Yes,
and I have resisted the urge to talk to him all day. Have I ever told you my Matthew Berry story?
No, about the tweet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Him, Stefania Bell, Dave Richard from CBS, and I never remember who the fourth one was. The day that we went daily, I sent a tweet out to all of them. Matthew Berry sent me the nicest message back. Stefania Bell sent me a letter that is still in my office. And Dave Richard sent me a really nice message back. And before this week is over, I'm going to tell him how much that meant to me. As stupid as that sounds.
And Barry retweeted it, didn't he?
Barry sent me a message, too.
Oh, he did. Okay. Good. Yeah. Seeing Matthew Barry down in the shit with all of us was just super cool.
And he was so locked in that I was going to talk to him today, but he was so locked in on hitting all the interviews that I didn't want to interrupt him.
You don't disrupt the master while he's working. And he is one of the great masters of our craft. And it's just cool to be in the room with him, just to see how he works. Because there's a reason he's so goddamn successful.
Oh, yeah. And it's so obvious.
It's because he's smart and he's a great writer, obviously, but it's also because he puts in the work. And he's a great example for young guys.
People think he's just a fancy guy, and he's not.
No, he's a true reporter at heart.
So impressive.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. That's another one. If I could introduce myself to Matthew Barry and convince him to come on to the Sportsocracy for 5 minutes, that'll make this whole trip worth it. Which I may try to do tomorrow at some point. There are several guys that I have. You have when you're in the room, like I try not to fuck with people. You know, I don't. If I'm in that room, I don't need some dumbass from Asheville coming up and telling me he loves me.
I'm about to issue a straight up open fucking challenge. I'm going to implore you to channel your inner me. We all know I can do it. In terms of just walking up to somebody like, hey, why don't you come hang out? I want to implore you. You're the radio guy. I'm a dickhead with a mullet. I want you to fill these shows out with people that you walk up to and you stop being embarrassed. Patrick Holt has it exactly right. Mm-hmm. If you're one out of 45, that's pretty damn big.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Trevor Sycamore, who will be on our show tomorrow, told me we were talking over the weekend, and I said something about I couldn't believe they gave us a spot on Radio Row. And he said, well, the NFL believes in you. So who are you waiting on? The super NFL? Like, is that who you need to validate you before you feel like you've done something?
The super NFL.
Yeah.
That's a great response.
It's the funniest line, and it's so true.
Yeah. No, but I mean, I've always been that way of just, I can appreciate you from afar. And if I get my chance to walk up to you and introduce myself and just say, hey, I'm going to. If for me, this trip will be this trip's already worth it because it's been awesome. Oh, it's great.
But this trip would be super worth it if I can get Tank to understand how far we've come and that he belongs in the room enough to walk up to these people and go, hey, why don't you hop on our show?
Yes.
That's my number one goal this week.
And after we get everything set up tomorrow and I've got a station to bring them to, I'll be more apt to do that.
We'll be there at 8 o'clock setting up.
Yes, bright and early. So when Mark Starling wakes you up at 7 o'clock in the morning while I'm in the shower, you can.
I'm gonna catch me a little nappy nap here in a minute. So,
back to the questions here in the YouTube stream. I don't have the mouse to go back up for ones we might have missed here. So if I missed yours, I apologize. Okay, there you go. Keep going. One more.
There we go.
Okay. Yep. Did either of y'all see your respective teams yet?
He saw Todd Bowles and you saw somebody
Jason
else.
Light.
Jason Light.
Yep. I saw
today.
Jason Light and Todd Bowles. Joe D.
Is tomorrow.
Is Rob Salah going to be on?
Salah's not here.
Okay.
Yeah, Salah's not here. He stayed in Hempstead. I actually talked to him.
In a way, he's here.
I talked. Yeah. There's a Rob Saleh doppelganger that Tank cannot stop talking. But he's
tiny.
I was about to say he's
super
like half
tiny.
Size.
He looks like Mike McDaniel and Rob Salah had a baby.
Mike McDaniel's the smallest person on the planet.
He is teeny.
I could pick Mike McDaniel up and put him in my pocket.
Yes, this guy looks like Rob Salah in the face, bald hair or bald head. He's lighter complected. He's not as brown skinned as Salah is, and he's shrunk down. So it kind of looks like he's like Rob Salah if you put him in the dryer on high heat. No? Yeah, that works.
You tell him why that was incorrect to say. I talk to more of the Jets podcaster guys because the Jets have a podcast team here, and I know all of them. So that's more of who I disappeared for like an hour and a half today. And Tank, he carried the water of the interviews. I'm not an interviewer. I don't ask questions. It's not my shtick. If you've ever listened to us talk to Jones Angel, that's not news to you. But I network. That's what I do at these events.
Let's see. Won't lie, it's awesome that you guys are actually at the Combine from the days in the basement with the drunk guy on the couch to actually being at the Combine. Congrats, fellas.
Adam Black and OG.
We're on the way up here, and I don't even think we had gotten out of Haywood County before Jeremy looked at me and he goes, "You realize what we're doing? Did you ever think that we would be here?" And I honestly said, "No, I never did." And then he looked at me and said, "I never doubted it." Nope. It shows you the dichotomy between the two of us. But I'm glad it did. It wouldn't have happened without him.
Yeah, so, this little card right here, this means a great deal to me, and I will keep it forever. And it'll probably have its own little shadow box in the studio.
And again, I think that's what makes us a pretty damn good team.
What's that?
Is because it never would have happened if you hadn't done it. So
I can't say that's necessarily true.
No, I mean, like I never would have even thought about trying to get a press credential to make a trip to Indianapolis for the Combine.
Well, you and I just have very different.
No doubt.
We have very different like aspirations.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
may have said that. I may have said that the wrong way.
I think the aspiration is the same. The way we go about it.
Well, the way we go about it, and there are things. I'm trying to make sure this doesn't come off sounding like I'm being a dick.
How about this? Shoot or shoot.
Well, I've
always been a defender.
I'm a shooter. I've been a shooter. I was a shooter from 6 years old.
There you go. I think that explains it all.
I think for us, Tank loves being the radio guy in Asheville. I love being the radio guy in Asheville. But I want to be the radio guy in Asheville, in Greenville, in Charlotte, in Atlanta, in Knoxville, and that's kind of where I'm at. Is Tank just wanted to have a role in sports. When we met, that was his objective.
Yes.
And I remember the day that you got let go, and you told me that. Do you remember the conversation we had at the social where I said, "Do you trust me?"
Mm-hmm. I do.
And you never blinked, and I went, "That's dumb. You should so have blinked."
I did not. I went, you know what? If this is going to become a thing, it's only going to become a thing because there's a certain – well, he wasn't quite mulleted at that point, but there is a certain large gentleman, a large leprechaun figure that can make something out of this, and you have, and I appreciate it. Honestly, I do.
I'm a cog in the wheel, brother.
Let's see here. Remember, it's lying season. Notorious B.I.G. says
Correct.
Can't trust anybody working with a team.
Correct.
Let's see. Curious.
We missed one. Red Sea asked about Jonathan Gannon. He has not spoken. I believe he is speaking tomorrow.
Oh,
I think.
I thought that one stood for Jeremy Greene.
Oh, no.
That's why I skipped it. I was like, we talked about that.
Yes, Jonathan Gannon. I think he's speaking. It was either since we've been back here or it's tomorrow. I saw the name.
I think he's on the podium right now, or he was 10 minutes ago.
I think. I could be wrong.
Nope. He was on the podium at 3:45. So
we missed him, but we were there for Austinford.
We have vamoosed by then. Curious to hear your pre-combine sleepers, then see how much that changes next week.
I'm going to give those position by position on the ESPN shows this week. So the day that, and I don't have the schedule in front of me, so I don't know who's working out what days. I will give the position groups that day, and then I will hit one of the weekend positions each day. So that way, when you watch the combine coverage, you can go back and go, "Oh, that's the guy," and you see what he runs. Tomorrow we're going to talk about who's going to run super, super fast. There are a few of those. There are a couple guys that could run super, super, super duper fast. But we'll talk about those on the ESPN Radio Show.
I was trying to find the combine schedule here.
I've got it. It's in my
email. All right, so
linemen and linebackers are tomorrow.
Thursday? Linebackers?
No, that's not right.
Live drills Thursday, February 29th. Starts at 3 o'clock.
Oh, yeah, the drills don't start till Thursday.
Yeah. So defensive lineman and linebacker drills are Thursday.
Yeah. And the drills don't start till Thursday. The experience at Lucas Oil is tomorrow.
Defensive backs.
That's the reason I said that there's a great chance that we should stay Saturday. And this place is open. I've already asked.
Yeah, Saturday will be the quarterbacks, wide receivers, and running backs. Sunday's the offensive lineman. We don't need to see that.
Yeah, we can skip that because we don't have access to the most impressive part, which is the bench press.
Oh, did they not do that out in the open?
Oh, no, it's in a small room.
Jared Verse at 5.
No, it's way too high.
Way too high.
Not way too high. I could 8 up. I'd be okay.
Tim Raymond has 2 questions.
Okay.
Not a question. Says, when are you going to do top 10 position rankings? He doesn't do top 10s.
I do top 13s.
Exactly.
And those will be, as I lock them in stone, I will do them. I can tell you I'm further ahead on offense than I am on defense. I would say probably next week when we get back. That may be what I do in the car on the way, is the ones that I can lock in. There are a few that I need to go back and watch the tape. Some of them I'm just done. Like receiver, hell, I could probably do receiver right now. Mm-hmm. And I gave a pre-combine top 13 for the offensive positions. But we'll trust me, those will be coming aggressively.
And he says, if you were the Bears, what are you doing in this draft? Are you taking Caleb Williams, or are you keeping Justin Fields?
If it were me, I would take Drake May. Actually, that's not true. If it were me, I would trade down. If I was locked in on one of the quarterbacks, I would trade down to 2 or 3. 2, if I didn't feel like I could get Drake May, I'm going to take the bounty. And look, Ryan Poles even said that today. We get a bounty if we move down. Mm-hmm. So that's what I would do. And then I would build out the draft capital for next year in the hopes that there was a no-doubt quarterback and one of these teams jumped the line and took a quarterback they didn't 100% believe in, and then they had the number 1 pick, and I can use that extra capital to move into that slot with a quarterback that I really believe in. Mm-hmm. That's what I would do. I don't draft players I don't believe in. I don't. I'll trade a pick for 70% of its value. I don't give a shit. I'm not taking a guy just to take a guy. Yep, not doing it.
I would probably, and I would entertain the thought of trading the number 1 pick, but then I would draft Drake May.
8 strikes me as a honey hole. For me, I would like to get down to 8 with Atlanta. If Atlanta's going to do something dumb, get 3 first-round picks, and build out a franchise that's going to be formidable for years to come. Because I don't think Chicago's just a quarterback away. But they do have another top 10 pick, so that helps.
Yep, I would get my quarterback, see what I can get out of Justin Fields if it were me. Henry to the Cowboys. That's been a thought since late in the season
for a long time,
and it makes a lot of sense. Mm-hmm. The question is, what is Dallas going to do? Are they keeping Tony Pollard? Because I can't see Derrick Henry going anywhere and being the guy anymore.
I can.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I just don't.
As much as somebody's going to be the guy. That's 60% of the workload. That's what the guy is now.
Okay.
The days of him getting 28 carries a week, that's done. That's done for everybody.
That's
Bijan Robinson's the only one that's going to sniff that.
That's what I was hinting to, was that I can't see him going anywhere and being the only guy like he had been.
Oh, by the way,
a few years ago.
If you're in a dynasty football league and somebody has diminished on Bijan Robinson, go trade for him right now. I'm pretty sure I heard Raheem Morris say his name 64 times. And at one point, I actually thought he was writing a prose about him.
At one point, I thought he was actually going to say, "Run the damn ball."
Yeah, there was one point that I thought he was writing a limerick about Bijan Robinson, or what is that? A stenata.
Stenata. That sounds like a car. Wasn't that the Nissan Stenata?
Now at Dale's Buick Chrysler Dodge, get yourself a Hyundai Stenata.
Oh,
by the way, somebody said something about McAfee. If my boyfriend McAfee was here, he's not even in town, to the best I can tell. They're off this week.
Really?
Yeah, which is weird.
That is weird.
But I've already laid down the gauntlet. The people that own the condo that we're in are friends with McAfee, and if I see him, I'm not even going to formality of introductions. I'm just going to break into Lou Holtz talking about Ryan Day.
Yeah. That was a good discussion at the bar last night as well, when we found out that apparently the wife of the owner of this place
there's three.
Is intimately close.
Not intimately close. Intimately close makes it sound like they do dirty stuff. They're both married to other people. Well, they're like really, really close.
Okay.
Like really close friends.
Okay. And then I may have said to one of the bartenders that Jeremy was a giant fan, and he said, I can make a couple of phone calls and maybe make that happen. And so now
if that happens,
I want nothing else but to see Jeremy just go full weak-kneed.
I might cry.
If Pat, who has known to drink at the bar
downstairs,
yeah,
I'll go ahead and
shows
tell
up at some point.
I'll go ahead and tell you, if that happens, that bar bill is gonna hurt.
That it will, and I will document it for all of you.
Oh, we'll go.
Because Jeremy's
we'll
face will be priceless if that happens.
Just think of the first time you saw a boob. It's about like that.
About like that. He'll probably be more aroused, honestly.
I doubt that.
Saints had a formal meeting with Jaden Daniels, says Andreas Pinckney. He says, now we get several more weeks of fans crying for us to draft him.
Yeah, that's probably not going to happen. It might, though.
Majabi wants to know, what have you heard about the Patriots and taking a wide receiver versus a quarterback? Is there any chatter about a specific quarterback prospect that they're leaning towards?
The thought's always been that that them and the Vikings were leaning towards Drake May. That's the one they actually want.
Nick Sirianni is not behind me. B.I.G.
No, it'd be Big Dom.
Big Dom.
Nick Sirianni would be back there killing peepers, watching Dom floss his teeth with you. But there has been a lot of chatter about don't just assume that New England's taking a quarterback. They know that that's a rebuild. But I've been hearing that for weeks. So.
Patrick Holt says he's said we need to get old Khaki Harbaugh on the air.
He's not here.
He was not here.
No. He's not here. He is not in Indy.
Oh, okay.
They sent Ortiz.
Ortiz.
That's
right. Telesco's here.
Telesco is here.
But he doesn't work
and he
for
said
them
and he said the dumbest thing I think I've ever heard somebody say out loud. We will not be looking to trade Devontae Adams. Well, no shit. In other breaking news, water's wet and fire's hot. Thanks for that. If you had signed Antonio Pierce to make Max Crosby and Devontae Adams happy and then traded Devontae Adams, I would have screamed from the rooftops. You might be the dumbest people on the planet Earth.
All right, scroll down my screen here.
Ooh, too far.
Yay. Bring Andy Reid a cheeseburger. You'll be friends for life, right?
There is a McDonald's right
give
down the street.
Fat dudes food. We will remember who you are. I'm saying. When I was a kid, I was in a movie. I was in a lot of that movie because I made friends with all the cast and crew. And would you like to know how I made friends with all the cast and crew? 7 dozen Norma Spencer cookies. We brought cookies for the entire
Heavyweights?
The entire crew when I was in heavyweights. And I was like the favorite kid from there on.
Of course you were. It was a movie about fat children, and you gave them diabetes.
Exactly.
I had 3 of those cookies. I'm not going to lie. I think I'm going to lose a toe.
I think Judd Apatow took 2 dozen back to his hotel and hid them from everybody else.
I had 3 cookies,
hilarious.
and I'm reasonably sure that I got a hoof that I might lose a toe.
They are phenomenal.
God, they're good.
They're so soft, and I love my mama. She's so great. Trevor Sickman is awesome. Yep, he will be on our show tomorrow at 2:00.
Yep. He's also got a sweet-ass Madden backpack that I want bad.
Patrick Holt says a good icebreaker for prospects might be favorite Seinfeld episode.
Hell yeah. The one with Kramer in the pants.
Does that play for the younger generation?
It's on Netflix now. So
yeah, I guess so.
What is your favorite Seinfeld episode?
That's so tough.
God, it is tough, but I have several good answers.
I'm thinking the one where George did where he sang the
Believe it or not, George isn't at home. Please leave a message at the beep.
I do love that one.
I must be out, or I'd pick up the phone. Where could I be?
The one with
Believe it or not, I'm not home.
The one with Keith Hernandez, where
that one's
he
good.
spit on him. That was great. I'm just, Seinfeld wasn't my favorite. It was a good show at times. There were also times where I saw it and I went, oh, shit. But, we all know Seinfeld was the thing that taught me how to dance.
Seinfeld was brilliant. But the correct answer, there's 2 correct answers to this. And one of them is he took it out. That's one. The other is when Watley pulled it out on the date. He went full D.O. on the date.
Yeah.
She breathed on her glasses. He took it out.
out.
The other is very early when he was reserving the car, and he goes, anybody can just take the reservations. It's the holding of the reservation. That's what a reservation really is.
The Ass Man episode.
That one's also good.
With John
That's
Voight's
a hat.
pencil.
New Era has an Ass Man hat now that I'm probably going to need that.
New York Radio has a show. The Ass Man show. We saw it.
Yeah. He's a jet guy. You asked me that, and I was like, who the hell is he talking about? And then I walked past, and that dude probably thinks I'm out of my effing mind because I walked by his set, and I saw his banner, and I went, Ass Man.
Ass Man.
That's what you were talking about. And I pointed at him and laughed and just walked away.
So where we're sitting, like kitty corner to us, there was a giant banner on the front of a table that said, was it Jake? The Jake Osmond Show. And it's got jets flying all over it. It's New York Radio. His last name is Osmond, but it's A-S-M-A-N. It's a New York show, so I thought, Ass Man.
Yeah, he said that earlier. I had no clue what he was talking about because I hadn't seen the banner at this time. Then I walked by it, and that dude totally thinks I was laughing at him.
Great. I love that I can provide you entertainment. He has asked me 14 times, how stupid am I? And I go, you know what? That's why you like me.
Yes.
Because I keep it light.
You're a great friend. You're a great friend to have around because you make me feel smart.
Patrick Holt says, should have set up a Holt Brothers barbecue stand beside y'all. That would have lured everyone to your booth.
No doubt.
And you know what? If they ever decide to do this thing outside, maybe we can make that happen.
Chris Oder, by the way, he said the colorful language is refreshing. It does feel good to say fuck.
I do like saying fuck words every now and then.
He also is the one that told us to go to Harry and Izzy's, which is that big badass steakhouse that we were talking about earlier. That's where I'm 100% planning on eating dinner there tonight.
Oh.
It's beside Elmo's, but the same people that own Elmo's own that one, and apparently it's cheaper. I'm not going to lie. Okay, and I know that what I'm getting ready to say is going to be total, like, heresy. From the outside, St. Elmo's is not the most impressive place I've ever seen.
Nope.
And I don't love horseradish. So their spicy cocktail sauce doesn't necessarily tickle my pickle.
I'm interested. I'm just not $20 interested in a 4 shrimp cocktail.
It's 10, but still.
No, it's not. The menu says 4 jumbo shrimp, $19.95 for shrimp cocktail.
Well, shoot.
It's $55 for the cheapest steak, and it's just, that's Ruth's Chris kind of type shit, and you know me. Anyhow, cheaper than oxygen.
Bitch.
That's right. Very cool stuff around here, though. There's the St. Elmo's place. There's the.
I want to try this Brothers place over here.
There is.
I think I could spend a whole week and never eat anywhere that wasn't on this street.
There's an actual Rocky Patel branded smoke room 2 blocks down.
Yeah, and I want to make use of that because I like cigars.
I can get down with a cigar. There's a blues bar down the street. I know that doesn't tickle Jeremy, but I'm gonna have to. And I'm gonna have to go just to satiate him. I'll take him there, get him drunk, 2 beers, and bring him back to party bar downstairs. That's right. I just wanted to go check it out. See, they have a cool statues outside of Jake and Elwood, which is always going to get me in the door. Saw a scenario earlier today where Arizona traded down to 6 and then again to 10. Could you see something like that happening? That's the Red Sea question.
Not after what I heard today. And I know it's lying season, but Monty Austin-Fort was really high on the top end of this class, which it would be encouraging to me. Mm-hmm. Basically, what I got from Austin-Fort is, all right, so he didn't use names, obviously, but if Marvin Harrison Jr. is not there, I don't think they're going to be miserable. Mm-hmm. I think they still think there's other talent there. You skipped a couple messages.
Yeah, I'm going to go back.
Okay.
I'll go back. That's just the first one I saw, and I didn't want to disrupt the flow. What day is the quarterbacks at the Combine? That's on Saturday. 1 o'clock, quarterbacks, wide receivers, and running backs will be doing their drills. We will be here to see all of the position group because that's the fucking main show. We can't leave before the main show's over. Mm-hmm. So, if anything, we'll be leaving after all of that Saturday night.
Yes.
We will be doing a show. We'll do a recap show from the Saturday workouts and all of that to make sure that we bring that to you. Should have used that pic of Jeremy sleeping in the car for the pass for the press credential.
Yeah, this bastard took a.
I did.
Well, first of all, they didn't approve him, so I was the one that submitted the pictures because they told Tank nothing.
They told me we don't know who you are.
They told you to go yourself.
I should have figured out how to do that, but we didn't have the picture in time.
Yeah, you made a formidable enemy with that one there. Tons of fun. I hope that chuckle was worth it because you're not going to like
it. Totally was because y'all had just been joking in the chat while I was driving of Jeremy's still awake and who's shocked. And about 20 minutes after that was when I saw that y'all were talking about it and he was fast asleep. So I had to prove to everybody that, yes, baby Huey did go night-night while we were on the trip.
I was sleepy.
And that's absolutely fine. Can I buy you guys 4 doubles of Fireball each for 45 minutes sit down?
Ian.
Yeah.
That's not a tough sell at all. That's a full J.A. Greene. Yeah.
Chris.
I didn't even think of that until I just did it. Son of a bitch, my middle initial is A.
Uh-huh.
Oh, let me talk to you.
Chris Oder. At 18, against all odds, Bowers and Fuaga are both available. What are you doing, draft nerd?
Personally, I'm going to turn off Madden, but because if those two are still there at 18, I'm going to call whoever has 19 and go, I will do everything short of let you cleanse my molars to get that
down.
19th pick.
No, because you're going to get the 19th, so you got them both.
I want them both.
Yeah, okay. I see what you're saying.
That's what I would do.
Right.
But I also have no shame, so I'm not totally averse to degrading myself.
Yeah, that's a stretch that either of those guys would be there at 18. But
I would say it's actually less of a stretch that Bowers is than Fuaga.
I would agree.
Just because tight end.
Tight end, yeah, not a premium position. But in that scenario, I would go Bowers. Because there's no question to me who's the better football player between the two of them. That was disgusting. I hope you guys could hear his burp on my microphone. Oh, it smells too.
Sorry, the monster hit.
I would ask what you ate, but I know what you ate. That Caesar chicken wrap for lunch. Oh,
that was them anchovies, bro.
Bruh. So good.
How you feel about them anchovies, bruh?
Let's see here. Adam Black says just go stand outside the Thunderdome. Oh, okay.
That's McAfee Stadium. McAfee Stadium.
Oh, okay. I'm sure we can figure out where that is. Jeremy went full 6 to midnight in 2.5 seconds. Yep. Referring to if McAfee came into the bar.
Fact.
No, we are. The bar is not Kilroy's.
There is
We're
a Kilroy's
down the street from Kilroy's.
Yep.
That's like 2 blocks up, kind of near the Rocky Patel place. The one underneath us is called the Saint Shack, and then there's a nightclub underneath it. There's an awning outside of the place that says the patron saint. Yeah.
Yes.
The patron saint. But the bar's on the 2nd floor. The patron saint's down 3rd floor. Or basement. We're on the 2nd floor. Anyway. Parking lot episode. I don't remember that one of Seinfeld. Parking lot episode.
Oh, where they were in the parking lot at the mall. She had the fish, and then the fish died. Oh, yeah, by the way, I have to tell this story just simply because somebody said that. So I have a 16-year-old daughter. We have been doing all the outfitting and all that. She bought a fish. It was a little beta fish.
Okay.
That fish lived less time. That I've had benders that lived longer than that fish did.
Wow, how?
I mean,
Did you let her use cold water like I told you not to?
Nope. Didn't do that. I actually said that. I referenced you. I said, yeah, don't use cold water. That's a bad idea.
Please don't do that.
I don't know if they got the pH level wrong or what, but they
poor Pubert.
Finnegan was his name. So she came out and said, my fish died. And literally without missing a beat, allow me to let me pull out my phone because I'll bet you it's still in my history. So I don't watch YouTube much when it's not us. Without missing a beat, she came out and told me that fish was dead, and I stood in the living room with the salute out. And you just assume that this played in the background after a 16-year-old girl told you her fish died, that she's had for just long enough to be about as attached to it as she was to a pork chop.
That is hilarious.
Didn't love it.
Well,
I laughed until I almost shit on myself.
Poor Phineas. Isn't that what you said his name was?
Finnegan. Yep.
Poor Finnegan.
I almost defecated on myself. I laughed so hard. And do you know how hard it is to do the salute with taps playing whilst trying to keep from laughing?
I imagine it's pretty hard.
It wasn't easy.
Wow. Yeah. And I had told him when he said she's getting a fish, I said, if she gets a tropical fish, like a beta fish, don't let her do what my sister did. When we lived together, I was 18. She's 8 years older than I am, so she was the adult in the room, apparently. She was changing out the fish's water and went and got the gallon jug from the fridge and put it in. Yeah, that's a tropical fish, hon. You just put him in cold water, and he was bobbing within 5 minutes. I'm shocked that the fish didn't like. Poor guy.
Now, see, me being a dick there, I would have had to have looked at her. Since you basically just Titanic iceberg sunk your fish.
Oh, yeah.
I'll never let go, Rose.
I'll
never let go.
Oh, I had quite the fun. Still do. Still do to this day. It has been 24 years since that happened.
It's been 84 years.
And that's still a fun one to bring up to old sis every now and then. Let's see.
Hold on, we're missing one.
Patrick,
it scrolled past.
Okay, this defensive class sucks, to be honest, from Notorious B.I.G. Lacking a lot of depth. Offensive side is legendary.
I could see a path that the top 10 picks don't have a defensive player.
I would agree with that.
I think that's on the table.
I think the biggest chance for a defensive player to break into that is a corner, right? Terrion Arnold or Kenyon Mitchell's
my one.
Getting into the top 10.
Kenyon Mitchell's my one. Nothing's going to change that unless he comes out here and decides to cut his leg off.
That'd be a close one with Jared Verse.
Jared Verse is my number one edge rusher.
I would think Jared Verse would be.
Latu's close, but the medical's terrifying.
Yeah, see, I don't think that's going to happen. I think that's real. I think that will push him down. I mean, it's not like it's going to push him out of the first round or nothing, but could it?
It could. It would have to be real bad.
Yeah.
I mean, real bad.
I think the same thing's going to happen to Penix too. So
we should have done tomorrow without. We screwed this up.
What do you mean?
We should have done tomorrow with only one commercial break an hour.
Why?
Well, because then we'd have like 12 minutes to grab other people at the end of the hours.
I see what you're saying. I don't think we. I think we'll make it work.
Well, I mean, in theory, Ingles is the one that bought this, so I'm just saying. We could stack that with Ingles commercials.
I don't think that'd be good. I don't think that's a good idea. As a broadcaster, I don't think that's a good idea.
Why?
12-minute spot block with 18.
No.
Ingles commercials.
No.
That's not good.
Ingles bought this trip.
Oh, I get it.
I'm saying play minute Ingles commercials at the end of the hour, but then we do the rest of the hour with no commercials.
Oh, well, we don't have the ability to make that call because the station still has their commercials and they run in our show too,
and they can run those in that 5-minute block at the end of the hour. Ingles stuff.
I don't know. I mean, we can approach it. We can always approach it with the boss man.
See, that's the pattern difference between Tank and I. Tank approaches things. This guy right here is a doer.
He's a doer.
Hey, why did you not take a commercial break for 3 days? Well, because I have this piece of paper in my pocket, and it gave me permission, and it just says, I do what I want, and it has my signature at the bottom of it.
Matthew Hoffman wants to know the best thing we've seen since getting here, whether it's coaches, players, food, it doesn't matter. Best experience since we arrived.
Oh, last night playing beer pong was a hell of a lot of fun.
I agreed.
That was a hell of a lot of fun.
The best part of playing beer pong, though, was the look on Jeremy's face when he realized that I wasn't too bad at it.
I mean, that was
because when I said because the guy, so who we played with last night were bartenders from downstairs. They were off last night. They apparently are working tonight and invited us to come back for the beer pong tournament. But they wanted to play, and they were all shocked that I'm 41 years old and I had never played beer pong before,
which I was shocked by as well.
And so anyway, we were like, yeah, why not? And Jeremy's going, oh, God, just another part of this life that I'm going to have to carry this giant lummox through. And it wasn't as bad as you thought. And so I thought the sheer surprise on Jeremy's face when I started sinking shots was like, okay, well, this is how – because what, I hit the first 3?
Yep.
I hit the first 3
The only thing
right
I will
off the bat.
say is I met what is apparently the champion of that particular establishment. I saw him shoot 7 times, and he missed once, which means tonight Tank's liver is going to hear this. And I'm going to wake up tomorrow feeling like a mashed up bag of assholes. And that's not really going to change anything about my personality, how I look, or anything else.
Nope. Let's see.
Because in the words of the poet, one Mr. Fleece Johnson, I'm a warrior. Let that be known.
Hot take, Curb is better than Seinfeld.
Never seen it.
It's not. Patrick Holt says Black, both are great. The Seinfeld set the bar. I'll agree. Shrinkage episode. That was a good one.
I was in the pool. I don't know why.
Was that the same one where
Kramer fed the vegetarian lobster?
No, I was thinking Elaine peed in the sink or peed in the shower, right? Or somebody peed in the shower.
No,
somebody peed in the shower, and she was talking
George.
about how it goes to different.
It's all pipes. Different pipes go to different places.
Right. Then it goes. Why would you pee in the shower? Because it goes back into our water or something like that.
George peed in the pool.
George
peed in the shower.
There you go. That was a funny episode. Where's next?
Bradley Presley.
Maybe I've missed this already, but can we expect the remaining mock draft soon?
Yes.
Asking for a friend.
I have all of the quarterback potential teams in the hopper. I'll be putting those out this week. They're done. I'm just trying not to flood y'all's. I've already had one person that didn't love the fact I did a @followers post. Hey, let me explain that in case anybody else had a problem with it. We have a sponsor that paid quite a bit of money to get us here, and their logo was slathered all over that thing. I've never done that before, and I only do it if it's something I really need y'all to look at and like. So, okay? Okay? Because we want to keep doing cool shit like this. Because, frankly, I get used to this.
Yep. Ingles Supermarkets, low prices. Love the savings. Thanks to
I'll even go a throwback.
The whole gang for making sure that this dream came true for us.
I'll even throw a throwback out there. You get a lot more, you pay a lot less.
Good for you.
That's how committed to Ingles I am. I know the old slogan.
Wow. Next up, Andreas Pinkney. He said he would love Fuaga at 14. They need an offensive tackle badly. Ramchick is on his last legs. Literally. Yeah, but that's the problem with Fuaga is that that's the problem with Fuaga getting down to 18 like was suggested before because there are too many teams. Exactly.
Seattle could jump on him as a guard.
The ceiling is what, 10 with the Jets for
Fuaga? No, he'd go ahead of that.
Really? Okay.
He could go ahead of that.
Maybe we had talked about that being his floor. If the others are off the board.
If the others are off the board,
if Ola Fashanu.
The Jets are taking a tackle at 10.
Yes. If Joe Alt and Fashanu come off before the Jets at 10, Talise Fuaga will be going to the Jets.
Correct.
At 10. So no chance that he gets to 14. No chance that he gets to 18.
Correct.
We used to have a goldfish with well water, and those things lived almost 7 years. Wow. Maybe that's the way to go. Maybe you need to get her a goldfish. Maybe betas are just too sensitive.
I get you to get me a cup of water from Lake Julian, and that fish will live longer than I will.
Hell yeah. I'll get you some of them 3-eyed tilapia that are in that water.
It'll also have 4 hooves. You ever seen a fish with hooves?
Yeah.
You can in Lake Julian.
You know they have tilapia in that lake, right? Which is weird.
I would eat that can right there before I would have a tilapia.
Like, period?
Yes.
Why?
Bottom feeder, nasty bastard fish.
Huh.
Eat good fish.
Catfish, same way?
Yep.
You want to eat catfish?
I'd eat this vape right here, battery and all. I've never had a piece of catfish in my life. Bottom feeder bullshit.
No, sir.
You want to know how Jeremy is just horrifically bad to his body and still somehow is functional? In spite of the fact that my liver should be shutting down, I should have liver spots the size of horse hooves because I don't eat crap like that. Mm-hmm. Now I eat a McDonald's cheeseburger. That's different. It's got preservatives in it. You need those.
Interesting. Next question here. Where is the best place for Bo Nix from Oregon to land? Crazy Blade.
Second round.
I think he meant team.
I know what he meant.
Oh, okay.
Team, I would say, honestly, probably Denver. I just don't know how it would happen because they don't have a second-round pick. Mm-hmm. So, Denver would be my favorite team for him.
Icebreaker question. Do you think you could take 5 Samoans in a fight? That wouldn't be a bad question for an offensive lineman, I guess. Although, what if the offensive lineman is Samoan? What do you think about that?
I once tried to take 5 sorority girls to a bar and pulled my jejunum. That's the closest I ever came to anything like that.
And he pulled it out.
Change he to they, and you got the right answer to that story. Coffee's for closers, and I take mine with 2 creams. My weird ability to not do – nope, no good can come from what I was getting ready to say right there. Although, if you ever talk to my wife, I was a virgin when we met.
Patrick Holt says, best meat in town. You talking about Ingles or yourself?
Ingles was the right call there.
Sure. Absolutely.
They do have the best meat in town.
Love the savings.
I got a ribeye there the other day that was a meaty bastard.
Oh, yeah. The T-bones are on sale for $8.98 this week.
Beaver Dam. There's a big old mulleted feller with tattoos. Get him to cut your meat. Dude knows what he's talking about.
Eat flounder. Patrick Holt wants to know.
Nope.
Do you eat flounder?
Sure don't.
Is that a bottom feeder as well?
It's bullshit fish. If I'm gonna eat, I don't eat fish very often. But if I do, it's gonna be a mahi or something like that.
Huh. I didn't know.
I'm gonna get something that you can only get in specific areas of the world.
I didn't know you were a racist fish lover.
Let me explain to you my philosophy on fish. If it's something you can get at the Long John Silver's, I'm out.
So you don't eat shrimp?
Not from that shithole, I don't. People that eat Long John Silver's, I'm telling you right now, smoke cigarettes, smoke crack. I mean, if you're eating Long Johns, you're dead inside anyway.
I need some applause here. Yeah, let's hit the old applause for Adam Black because he knows where it's at. That salt and pepper catfish from the Harbor Inn. Shit'll change your life. No doubt about it. I'll give them some free pub.
Does that place still exist?
Phenomenal. I love that place.
Is it still open?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Over there by the new Tanger Outlets. Used to be the Asheville Outlets. Now it's I think it's the Asheville Outlets brought to you by Tanger or something.
I don't.
Anyway.
You know where I shop? Amazon. And Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
That's good for you. Let's go. Jeremy looks like the type to eat catfish.
I look like the type to eat a lot of things, and I'll go ahead and tell you, short of one big-ass exception, you're wrong on all of them. You can assume how to finish that. I don't really give a shit.
Chris
I said nothing dirty there. You take it dirty, that's on you.
The Chris Oder, that's a horrible take. Gas station hot dogs are not better than catfish.
They're both terrible. Although I will eat a gas station hot dog, I will not eat catfish.
They're both glorious, necessary sustenance to life.
Gas station pizza from a reputable gas station, that's acceptable.
Hunt Brothers. Is this your Hunt Brothers
Hunt Brothers is okay.
Stop.
Hey. They put cheese and pepperoni on a cardboard box, but that shit eats. That shit eats.
Point. It's no QT.
Oh,
QT
God.
Pizzas are better.
God, when I worked for Budweiser, I ate so much food from QT.
Icebreaker. Favorite Girl Scout cookie. That's phenomenal. That can tell you a lot about a prospect.
Whichever one the den mom brought to my house, that was my favorite Girl Scout cookie.
Leave it to him.
Boom!
Always just, wow. Why's it always got to come back to fucking somebody's mom for you?
Well, talk about what you know. That'd be what I know.
And that, my friends, is a promo. That should be a YouTube promo for this
No
show.
doubt.
Can't run that on the air. Patrick Holt votes Thin Mints on the Girl Scout cookies. It's hard to beat the Thin Mint.
The most overrated cookie in the history of time. No. Well, no, it's not true. The Fig Newton is the most overrated cookie.
It's not a cookie. It's cake.
It's a cookie. It says cookie on the bag. So, I mean, you should talk to Mr. Newton if you want to bitch about it being a cookie.
Wrong.
But
apparently, everybody named Newton is fucking wrong except for Isaac, okay? Cam Newton, David Newton, they all suck.
He's going to whip your ass with his very soft hands tomorrow.
With his very soft hands.
That dude is going to lubriderm them hands up just to smack the piss out of you tomorrow. And I'm going to laugh about it.
Odor is correct on that one. Good 100% on the Thin Mints.
Thin Mint's good.
That is the best Girl Scout cookie, and it's not close.
No, the best Girl Scout cookie is the peanut butter patty. Chocolate with peanut butter in the middle.
Those are a solid.
You talk about your little trick of put it in the freezer. Every fat person goes, it's better if you put it in the freezer.
Yes.
Not everything is better frozen.
No, not everything's better frozen.
Snicker bars, sweet. Now I got it. Now I got a friggin'. Now I've got an actual boulder with nougat, whatever the hell nougat is, and caramel, which sucks.
You're so weird.
I'm a weird fat guy.
Yeah, you are a weird fat guy. Only been to the U.S. once. This is from Chiefs Nation UK. Said, are you guys where the Colts Stadium is? Yes.
Yep, I can actually see it from here.
Yeah.
Or actually, no, that's the field house.
That's the Pacers.
That's where we'll be tomorrow night watching the Pacers and the Pellies.
Yeah, we get to go watch fat-ass Zion Williamson.
Yeah. Oh, as somebody that knows Zion, I want you to say that to his face. Because he will break your head.
I would never.
Zion Williamson is 1 inch taller than me.
Yes.
And makes me look like a small child.
Yes.
He is huge. He was at Spartanburg Day when I lived in Greene.
He's a big old fatty.
In stereotypical Jeremy fashion, I found a way to actually talk to the kid. And he's a super nice kid. I think that's why I defended him so long. He was such a nice kid.
I heard Greene talking about him the other day on his show, and it was the nicest 10-minute segment I've ever heard somebody do, where the major theme that came out of it was Zion Williamson's too fat. It was essentially, he may be in great shape, and he may be able to run up and down the floor, but you cannot look at Zion Williamson and think that he is an athletically fit person. He looks fat.
He's an athletic freak.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, Chiefs Nation UK. So the Pacers arena is, I'm literally looking at it right now out our window. And Lucas Oil is 2 blocks that way.
Yep.
But we will be in Lucas Oil Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Stephen Tao, Fig Newton is top tier. Slanderocracy, once again. Yes, true. Glenn F., Fig Newton is not a cookie. It's a fruit bar. Again.
God, I had a good line right there, and I couldn't say it.
Jeremy, who hurt you as a child is you don't like Snickers ice cream bar.
No, the ice cream bar is fine.
Yes.
It's people that put Snickers in the freezer and freeze them, and they turn into gravel. Mm-hmm. And they're like, it's so much better that way. No, it's not, because it's not a candy bar anymore. It's a molar-destroying piece of shit. But
Snickers are better in the freezer. Thin Mints are better in the freezer. Swiss cake rolls are better in the freezer. Oatmeal cream pies are better in the freezer. And moon pies are better in the freezer. I have 3 of them in the freezer right now.
So basically, that I threw at him earlier, from my trip to Mobile. They were still in my bag because somebody gave us 1 billion of them for some damn reason.
Mardi Gras.
I don't remember what I was going to say. And all of those things, they're not better in the freezer. They're just great. They're great themselves. And Tank likes to freeze things. But if you do love those things, there is only but one place to find them, and that's your local Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices. Love the savings.
Does Lucas Oil look like disappointment in person?
No, it's actually pretty cool.
It is.
It's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
But it fits the city. I think you have to see the city to understand it. There are houses next door. I've been to a lot of stadiums. And I feel like when people heard what I just said, they're assuming that there's like high rises and shit with condos. And there are. There are houses with yards a baseball throw away from Lucas Oil. It is one of the weirdest things I've ever seen in my life. But it fits the city. Mm-hmm. This whole city kind of looks like that. It has like a rustic. Okay, I'm going to say something that's not going to be popular to some people, but my name's on the door. I feel like Indianapolis has that Rust Belt rustic charm that people always tell me Asheville has.
Okay.
Asheville, everything that has that rustic charm has been leveled in Asheville, except for one, like 4 square block portion of downtown where you're more likely to get stabbed with a fentanyl needle. Which is why, by the way, you should support new Asheville Police Chief Mike Lamb because he's doing some stuff, and he's a dog.
Mm-hmm. And I would also encourage everyone in Buncombe County to go out and vote for Van Duncan for chair of county commission.
We worked our asses off.
Who busted his ass for goddamn 20 years? I think he was sheriff of Buncombe County.
He's also a wonderful, wonderful man that comes to the Village Porch.
Indeed.
The official football watching home of the Sportsocracy.
Indeed.
I'm just out here throwing promos all over the place. Mm-hmm. I'm going full LeBron James just.
That's right.
Oh, no, I fucked that up.
There you go.
That's how I should have done that the first time. I will be better next time.
Next up, let's see. Steven Tao says we need a foot race between Zion and Eddie Lacy.
Oh, at this point, Zion would kill Eddie Lacy.
No doubt.
At this point, I'm not sure Tank wouldn't kill Eddie Lacy.
Zion really knows how to talk the draws off of people. Mm-hmm. Yep, he does. He has a knack for that, apparently. The city is boring. Is that Indianapolis?
Oh, I don't think
I haven't found it boring yet.
No, I mean, it may not be a city. Like, it might get boring if you lived here, but in terms of visiting here, shit, I'm looking at 20 things right now that I could hit that. Was it Tiki Bob's? I could hit that. There's an axe throwing place right there. I want to know what the show bar is, because that feels like a place to see a boob for sure.
Yep,
that feels like a place. Like that looks like a place that you can see a boob.
Yes, it does.
Probably have a very expensive beer and listen to the greatest of Whitesnake.
Maybe so.
A great anthology of John Bon Jovi's greatest hits.
It's kind of giving me great hope that at some point during the night, the lights are going to come on that second floor right there, and we're going to get to see a show.
Could. Never know.
Never know. We've had a great time since we've been here in Indianapolis. It is going to be awesome.
And it's going to continue.
Stephen Tao says, swing by FedEx Field one day. You just travel along a wooded back road area, and then suddenly, boom, whole ass stadium right in front of you. Common sense ain't common. Y'all are in my team city. I love this so much. Jeremy, who do you want the Colts to take in the draft?
Kenyon Mitchell would be my. I mean, if I was just going for where wings take Dream, that would be the one. That would be the one.
Yes. All right. I think that wraps it up.
Odor said we nailed it with Showbar.
Oh, did we?
Sweet.
Awesome.
To see singular boob.
Because we're on the same.
He said it's a strip club.
We're on the same plane here on the second floor as the second floor of the titty bar. So that's
this just in the words of our old buddy Jim Ross, business is about to pick up.
All right, so we appreciate everybody hanging in with us. We hope you enjoyed the radio-only best of program for today. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, rest of the week, we will be live noon to 3 on Radio Row, live from inside the convention center. We are not our broadcast position is in the convention center, not at the stadium. So there's no streaming from the field while the workouts are going on, or none of that stuff. So
no, I do have an idea though that I've been sitting here marinating on.
Yeah,
we are sluts for charity, so we could just run a nonstop stream.
Mm-hmm.
We could just run a nonstop stream from as soon as we get it set up, say 9:30 tomorrow until they kick us out at 5. Well, through the end of the radio show, because we got to get the stuff back here and then get to the field. So we could run like a 6-hour charity stream with super chats and all that stuff.
Stream of consciousness kind of thing. Okay, that could be interesting.
There's an answer to that somewhere.
Yeah, we can play with it, and if not tomorrow, we can pull the trigger on that on Thursday or Friday. We got 3 days to get this thing right.
Oh, so, no doubt. And then we'll do a summation show here on Saturday, and then we'll have stuff coming out next week when we're back. Because it's the Draftmas season, ladies and gentlemen.
Indeed. It is. And we are going to be live right here from Indianapolis, Indiana. Everybody, go and give the props to all of the sponsors. Give them all of your dollars so we can keep doing cool shit like this.
100%.
Thank you to Ingles Supermarkets for backing us since the beginning. Since this thing launched out, nobody's believed in us like Ingles Supermarkets. And they've been keeping our community running for forever. And we are in debt to them.
Forever.
Yeah, for making the dream come true, being the greatest supermarket chain on the planet, and we will continue to do the job with them. Ingles Supermarkets, low prices. Love the savings. We are going to go get a beer.
Or mini. I'm going to go put on more less business-forward clothing, and
we will keep you up to date. We'll let you know how all of the tournament goes tonight. We might try to stream that live.
Oh, that has vertical YouTube stream written all over it.
Absolutely.
That has we're going to do more of those things moving forward.
Interesting. All right, so stay tuned, and we will return. Who knows when? Maybe tonight while we're drunk playing ping pong.
Ping pong. It's
beer pong. That's it.
It's time to go out that door and see the sights and see the world. And there's only 3 things that I can tell you definitively about the rest of this day. Somewhere an animal has given its life so I may live. Somewhere a hop has given its life so that I may laugh. And there's a titty in that room over there, and I'm at some point going to go see it.
I'm going to see it.
I'll let you know.
Y'all have a great evening. We'll see you tomorrow.
For future reference, that's way too loud.